speaker companies should start some rumor where something with their speaker will magically change the guitar player's tone if they buy theirs. That way musicians will buy something that actually changes their tone.
Yeah, you know, the problem with that is it's not that the speakers won't change their tone. It will. It's just that speakers are hidden behind grill claws and they're all the same color and musicians look with their eyes. Maybe, just maybe, if we made the speakers glow in some way, you know, guitar players go, ooh, I've got magical tone paper. What do you guys say? Everybody, welcome to episode number 360 of SMG Viewers Comments, the show that's about you, not about me. So let's cut the crap and get to your comments and questions, shall we?
If it wasn't for hating on Gibson, you'd have nothing. It's pretty hack.
Hey everybody, check out Jamie Wood's amazing observation skills. You know, isn't Epiphone a subsidiary of Gibson? Yeah, it's their lower price brand, and I got almost 100,000 views on the review I did on this guitar, because this guitar is fantastic. So, I don't know, Jamie, maybe open your fucking eyes, dumbass!
Say what you want about Gibson, but as long as they can ask 10 times the price and keep selling faster than they can make them, their quality and price point is right where it should be. Power of Gibson is giving you views, too. If you just talked about whatever you're holding and not mentioned Gibson, no one would click.
Hey, who wants to see a full-fledged review on this Ormsby 29-fret 7-string fan fret model? This thing's an absolute monster. Sounds fantastic. And you can hear it on my Jesus Demon video, which a lot of you guys did wind up watching. Once again, maybe the Gibson guys should open your fucking eyes and try paying attention to what's going on this show. Look, I get it. You don't like it when I criticize your favorite brand, but I call it like I see it. And when a brand charges nearly $3,000 for an amateur level finish, they need to be called out on that shit so you guys don't waste your money on garbage.
I can't hear the paint jobs on any of the music I listen to.
Just like you can't hear Tonewood either.
Gibson has been notoriously bad at metallic finish. However, comparing nitro to the poly that overseas builders use is a bit like apples and oranges. Nitro takes longer to cure and more susceptible to damage after the guitar has left the factory, such as sitting in the case at a warehouse where the temperature can fluctuate and make a good paint job deteriorate quickly.
You think maybe they should start putting a better finish on the guitar then? I don't know. Just an idea.
The Gibson even gigged a lot will still be playable in 20 years and at some point it's going to be worth more than the money face value. The Harley Benton, on the other hand, unless just played at home sparingly for practice, on top of the fact that it will never be worth anything, eventually will start to fall apart. Besides that, Harley Benton is also bad for the budget guitar industry as a whole. Thomann, basically German Sweetwater, who owns this in-house brand, is likely selling them at or below cost to try and undercut other budget makers in an attempt to put them out of business. If they are successful in doing that, it's a pretty bad thing as far as consumer choice at the low end of the market goes. So as I said in another one of your Gibson bashing videos, you are a joke.
Falling apart. Hold on a second. Did you check out Trogley's video on the Mustaine V where they couldn't even get the inlays right and that was right in the factory? Something tells me you're kind of projecting a little bit and maybe not taking a look at the whole situation. But yeah, I get it. Everything I say is a joke. I couldn't possibly give anything that Gibson makes a good review. I guess just ignore this video because that kind of undercuts what you were saying there, but sorry about that. But please continue to comment on my videos. You're clearly making your point that you spent a lot of money on a Gibson and you don't appreciate it when people point out the flaws.
Please, more IR packs that are not vintage 30s.
Yes, an IR pack of that Jesus Demon cab is coming out on Spectre Digital. In the next few months, we've got something really special coming out when it comes to impulse responses. I know you guys are really going to like it, and it's going to open up an entire new palette of tone options for you guys. It's going to be pretty cool. We've been working on this one for a while, and it's almost ready. Can't wait to tell you all about it.
We'd love to see you review the HB cabinets. They seem like a great deal.
Dude, have you tried using the YouTube search bar? I did a review on the Harley Benton Vintage 30 cabinet a couple of years ago. Hell, me and Phil McKnight there at the last TGU, we shot out like 4 of the Harley Benton cabs. I like the vertical 2x12 the best. That was the best in my opinion because it had these like offset speakers and the cabinet had a little bit more volume to it, so it really resonated and had this wonderful deep sound. The Harley Benton cabinets, as far as guitar cabinets go, are probably the best value for your money out there on the market these days because they can mass produce and make so many of them you can get them really cheap. I wish they'd have more options than like the regulars and then the newer vintage 30s. It'd be really cool if they offered some EVH speakers or something like that. Hopefully I'm going to get to talk to the Thomann guys this fall and maybe I can convince them to make some better options as far as speakers are concerned. What would you guys say about that?
But can you play blues on these wonderful guitars?
Of course, you're referencing this wonderful Harley Benton double cut here. To answer your question, Yes, but my question would be, why would anybody want to?
Hey Glenn, would love a review of the EVH 5150 Iconic. You get such a good tones out of your PV 5150. I'd love to know what you think about the new budget for the option with a few preamp tubes missing. Thanks.
Hey, Taryn, that's a fantastic idea. I've heard a lot of mixed comments on the 5150 Iconic. I think I can get them locally at my Long McQuaid, so it might be worth checking out. Maybe I can do that in a couple weeks, give it a Fearless Gear review. That all depends on your support, though, guys. Fearless Gear Reviews is completely independently funded, and in order to make that happen, it goes off my Monday Mix review. Now, everything made on that show goes into Fearless Gear Reviews and goes right back into the show I'm making here. So I can give you guys a completely unfucked with opinion from a consumer's perspective. And I think the 5150 Iconic deserves that because it's kind of like, is it good? Is it not good? It's a lot cheaper, blah, 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 blah. Is it going to be a good solution for the stage and the studio? That's a question I think needs to be answered. And I think it needs to be answered in an unsponsored fashion. So if you guys want to see that happen, make sure to stop by on Monday morning or Monday evening and bring one of your mixes along, and we'll play it and I'll give it a critique and hopefully help you out along the way as well. It's been working out great this year. Come stop by. It's an awful lot of fun. It's Monday Mix Reviews, once again, every Monday evening and every Monday morning as well for you guys in Europe. Hope to see you in there.
Hey Glenn, been watching your videos for a while. Not only have you made me a more well-rounded musician, but I know so much more. I noticed in the pop-punk scene that people have expectations that you have an Orange amp, Marshall stack, a Strat, or a Gibson Les Paul. Do you ever think that pro bands will ever start using cheaper models of stuff to remove this terrible expectation?
I don't know, man. I can't really say about the punk stuff, but I mean, like, you take a look at the metal scene. I mean, like, Epiphone used to be the brand everybody laughed at, but now it turns out that's probably a better choice for a lot of people than a Gibson would be. Matt from Trivium is playing Epiphones, if I'm not mistaken, and I do believe I've seen Richie Faulkner walk out on stage with an Epiphone or two in his day as well. So I don't know if the punk guys are going to start playing the cheaper stuff or not. Would be cool to see. I mean, like, even if they came up on stage with, say, like a Harley Benton Amrock or something like that, those are really cool guitars. Those are a wonderful value. They're a little bit more expensive than the regular Harley Bentons, but I mean, like, punk especially, I don't think you need to be dropping tens of thousands of dollars on your guitar rig. I'm like, punk is kind of anti-establishment last time I checked. At least that's what it was supposed to be. I don't know what it is these days. But yeah, if guys walking out on stage with a $10,000 guitar rig, you're kind of wondering, is it really punk anymore? Or is it just trying to blend in?
Do you guys have any recommendations for a starter guitar, acoustic/otherwise? I kind of want to get into learning how to play, and I would like to know where to look.
It's already been on the show several times. Harley Benton's the place to start there. You're not going to drop an awful lot of money, but you can get some really great guitars. Go over to the Thomann website and check them out. You might have to pay a couple bucks for an import fee or shipping, that kind of thing, but it's probably going to be worth it because as far as value guitars go, they're hard to beat.
When your studio engineer plays the instrument more on time than you fucked up.
Hey, thanks, Jesus. So nice of you to show up. It would have been cool if you did something in Texas there a couple weeks ago, but I get it. You were busy. I don't know what the comment was there. It might have been about my improvement in playing, but getting a lot of compliments from you guys, so I will say thank you very much. Trick is, kids, practice and practice a lot.
Hey Glenn, great review as always. Do you have a video tutorial on what to check on store or buy on a guitar? Actually more interested in how to adjust action. If you have already done some, would love to dig in. Thanks, take care.
Actually, that's not a half bad idea, Gustavo. Would you guys like to see that, say, a where to start buyer's guide, what to look for at guitars in stores, what trouble spots to look for? That might be a really cool tutorial video to do, and maybe a basic guide and some rudimentary setup, that kind of thing. I mean, like, obviously, I'd say for that stuff, go check out Phil McKnight's show. Phil's a great guy, and he's got all kinds of cool information. As well as go see my very good friend Henning Pauly over at HP42 Studios. His channel is great, especially when it comes to checking out guitars and that sort of thing. He might be a little bit more help in that direction than I am. I'm not a guitar-centric channel. I do guitar reviews, but I also do amps and studio gear, and I just did my very first camera review on the GH6, and I'm pretty sure Panasonic's going to hate my fucking guts for that, but hey, they deserve the criticism.
The Outtakes burp compilation at the end. I'm owed one bowl of cereal because milk came out of my nose just like a 6-year-old. This is no joke. I've already contracted the best cereal lawyer in the biz. I'm going to own you, man. Holy shit, that video made my day. Thank you, sir.
Obviously, you didn't drop $3,000 on a Gibson, and your sense of humor was intact. Read through the comments on that one. There's a lot of butthurt in there.
This is why we gave up and just decided to market yourselves as a comedic mediocre band with our album My Life in a Mediocre Metal Band and saw much better success than our serious work before.
That's probably because you guys were way more entertaining as a comedic band. You know, I've seen that happen in the 90s with a couple local acts in Detroit, a couple buddies of mine. They used to play in serious metal bands, and then they started to do this comedy karaoke thing on their off nights. Next thing they knew, they had crowds showing up to their gigs because they were entertaining. Here's the thing, there's a million bands out there that want to, just stand there and stare at their fretboards and look at how awesome I am. But let's be honest here, it's not a lot of fun to watch. I mean, even some metal bands that are, really, really great at the top of their game. I mean, I just checked out Symphony X the other night in Los Angeles, and I mean, I think there were about maybe one or two single girls there out of that entire crowd. It was definitely Sausage Festival at the Symphony X show. That's for sure. I mean, in Europe, it might be a little bit different. But my point being is, if you're going to play to a narrower crowd, chances are you might not find the success you're looking for, especially when you're just starting out. So maybe try and broaden your horizon and, maybe work a little comedy into your act. You might have far more success. People do like to laugh.
Hey Glenn, what was your first DIY besides changing strings?
I used to solder tape decks together so I could, make my own rudimentary multi-tracks. I'd, take one tape and, have two tracks on there, and then have a fresh tape and take those two tracks, put it on the left side, and then I'd record something else on the right side at the same time. It wasn't exactly what we could say, there wasn't exactly undo there. You basically had to get it right every single time. It was crude, but it was fun, because it's like, ooh, I can do this. Of course, every time you do that, you get generation loss. It's a big fucking nightmare. Naturally, when I got to college and started working on a Studer 2-inch 16 track, that was really cool. And we've got mutes and solos, and we can do all this cool stuff. And then, here we are these days. I got, fucking NASA behind me with Reaper, and I can just pretty much do anything I want. But I will never, ever forget starting out with a couple of tape decks and a soldering iron. It was a lot of work, but it was an awful lot of fun. And one of these days I'm thinking maybe I should go buy an old Porta Studio or something, like a 4-track cassette multi-track or something like that, and try recording a song on that just to see what would happen. I don't know if anybody would be interested in watching that. I don't know if that'd be a little too self-indulgent or not. You guys tell me if that's something you'd like to see. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thanks to everybody who commented and questioned, even the army of Butthurt Gibson fans. Yes, we get it. Your guitars are very, very nice. Just don't look too closely at them, okay? It will be okay, I promise. And yes, you will be able to resell your guitars to other hipsters down the road for way much more money than you spent on them originally, because that's what hipsters do. Congratulations. You're cool to somebody. All right, anyway, keep those comments and questions coming. I'll see you guys next time. Later.